Now, over the last 6 to 7 months, guys, I've been called grass, informant, snitch, you must have been a prefect at school, or you must have simply been bullied. Ever since the beginning, guys, I've been getting questions in my DMs asking me or grilling me as to why I've chosen to start working with the Devon and Cornwall Police. This is the video you want to watch because I'm going to explain everything from where me and Owen met to what we've got coming in the future. If you guys are invested in this channel, then trust me, this is the video for you, but I think it's about time I answered some of your questions. Let's get serious. Now, with any story, of course, you're going to need some context. So before I explain to you why I've joined up with the Devon and Cornwall Police, and of course go into what you guys are going to get in return for supporting us, I think it's important that I explain how I came across this relationship with MPS Owen Messenger, the coolest policeman on TikTok. Now, before we do that, stay tuned to the end because there's going to be a whole section on hate comments. And as you can imagine, with this partnership, there's been a few. During the second lockdown, guys, naturally, I was trying to stop myself going stir crazy. I was watching Netflix all the time, scrolling through YouTube, and basically trying to convince my parents that I was reading books and doing fitness. Now, all jokes aside, I had no idea what to expect when Owen approached me. He basically rung me and said, look, we should arrange to meet up for a coffee. I've come across your YouTube videos, and it seems that you've got a decent sized audience, certainly in the car community. So of course, I didn't know what to think. I mean, my YouTube viewers, obviously they want to see this kind of content. They don't necessarily want to see me collab with the police. But at the same time, I thought to myself, from a business standpoint, I haven't seen any other YouTubers do it. So obviously we arranged to meet for coffee and we discussed a couple of things that we thought were wrong with the car community. And obviously straight away I came up with, look, there's just loads of laws that I don't really understand. There's loads of mods that I've done to my car, but I don't know who to trust. I can't Google search everything because there's a million different forums and certainly lots of false advice from the Facebook experts. Now, we've all come across some of them. So we arranged to come up with the first video, which was debunking modified car myths. We completely winged it. The weather was horrendous. My audio equipment didn't work. The video quality was terrible in general, but we basically took questions from my Instagram audience, chucked them into a video, and it seemed to go down really well. I averaged between 40 and 80,000 views on YouTube before I met Owen, and that video cleared over 300,000. So clearly it was doing something right, and it opened up some doorways that we just didn't know existed. So obviously you've now found out how I met Owen, and obviously we just went for coffee, and no, he wasn't my dad. And I think it's important we talk about what I think should come from this kind of relationship and how I want to evolve my channel, because I think it's really important that you guys are on board with my mindset and understand where I'm going mentally in terms of what the opportunity that I've been given can bring. Now, opportunities aside, guys, I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight into Owen MPS Messenger. He is not just your average policeman. While he has served for almost 20 years, he is now a road traffic casualty reduction officer, and it's his job to make sure you get home safe. Now, he did mention to me off camera once that you don't leave the house and expect not to come back. So take it from me, he's dealt with some crazy things, and that is why he is so passionate about educating road safety to you guys using a modern platform like this, social media. Now, guys, obviously he's had a crazy collection of cars in the past as well, which definitely gives him the accreditation of being a car scene enthusiast, from Cosworths, Fiesta RS turbos, some Skodas, some crazy iconic cars as well, of course I can't remember, but more importantly, his Mark II white Ford Focus RS. Now, if I've learned one thing from filming that first police video, it's definitely that investing in your business is worth its weight in gold. Since that video, of course, I've made some upgrades to my camera. I've also bought some decent microphones, and I've certainly learned a lot when it comes to handling my camera as a whole. Now, guys, the content is very difficult to make. It's not just as simple as point and shoot. There is a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, whether that be creating TikToks, making YouTube videos, making Instagram Reels, IGTVs, and all the rest. But I've definitely learned so much since starting my working relationship with Owen, and there's going to be so much more to learn in the future, and I'm excited for what it has to bring. Now, before we go and discuss what we've got planned with the channel and what's coming soon, and of course addressing those hate comments, I felt it really important to give you a little bit of a backstory as to why I'm so enthused with the idea of helping out when it comes to road safety. I've had quite a few bad things happen when it comes to friends and myself involving accidents and people passing away and stuff, and I wanted to give you guys a bit of an insight into that. Now, my first ever girlfriend, we were coming back from a university open day at the time, and we were playfully racing each other from her house to my mum's house. Either way, I got home first in my Fiesta ST 150, my first ever sort of, I suppose, car scene car, if you like. And I got a phone call from a member of the public saying, your girlfriend's upturned her car, she's flipped it and landed in the orchard outside my house, and you need to come and rescue her. Now, she was quite literally inches away from being impaled by a give way sign, and she was very, very lucky to be alive, and obviously we got away very loosely with that one, to say the least. Now, a couple of years later, I had a friend of mine on a night out in Worcester walk out in front of a lorry and get run over, and unfortunately, as you can imagine, he passed away. Now, had he not been drinking so much and maybe had the driver paid a little bit more attention, then that wouldn't have happened. But a couple of years later again, quite a few years later actually, a friend of mine that was under the influence of substances at the time had an aneurysm while driving, crashed into a tree, put himself in a coma, and unfortunately we lost him a couple of weeks after that. Now, those things are pretty awful, as you can imagine. They do leave a dent on you and can cause various effects on your mental health, going through your life at least. And I just wanted you guys to know that there's a little bit of a reason why I make this kind of content. I have an invested interest in stopping that happening to you. And obviously, having met Owen as well, hearing some of the stuff that he's been through and some of the families he's had to approach after stuff has happened on the roads, it's saddening to say the least. As I mentioned earlier in the video, you don't ever leave the house and expect not to come back. And I think it's important that you guys understand that the police are only doing their job. Owen, more importantly, they are naturally trying to stop you getting into that kind of position. And obviously in our situation, we're just simply educating what you can do to your car to prevent that from happening, and how you can go about driving in the safest way possible. Now guys, let's go talk about what we've got planned with the channel, and of course let's move on to the hate comments, but I felt all of that really needs to be said. So yeah, hope I'm not boring you, and we'll see you in the next clip. Now, with content coming soon, guys, of course I will be finishing the Focus ST build, from forging the engine to doing a big turbo, taking it on track days and attending car shows and car meets just like I did before. In regards to the police content, we've got motorbike stuff, HGV drivers, learner driver stuff. I'm going to be partaking in the advanced drivers course, and we're going to try and do lots of behind the scenes stuff when it comes to things like wrapping, painting, fixing cars, restoring cars, and all car scene stuff alike. Now guys, I've got loads to learn and I'm super excited to be posting all of this content in the future, but you're going to have to be patient. Of course, this takes a lot of work. I'm a one-man band outside of Owen doing some of that content too, and I think it's important that you understand that, trust me, editing and filming and inspiring myself and doing it all is difficult. So any messages from sponsors or anyone that would like to help in the future, of course, will be appreciated. But for now, I'm doing things on my own on a very, very small budget. Now, I mentioned in the previous clip about really struggling being a one-man band and having such a small budget. Now understand, guys, I don't think it's a fair trade-off for some of the hate comments that I've got in the YouTube comments, and of course on my Instagram DMs. I understand those comments aren't all directed at me, which is fine, but I said at the start of the video that I would make a clip on hate comments, so that's what we're doing. Now, over the last 6 to 7 months, guys, I've been called grass, informant, snitch, you must have been a prefect at school, or you must have simply been bullied. Now, that isn't the case. I said to Owen from day one, I never want to use this platform to get anyone in trouble. I don't want to take a member of the public or a famous YouTuber and get them in trouble on the videos. That isn't what I would do in my personal life, and it certainly isn't what I'm going to be doing here on social media. So understand any mistakes that I have made, I'm going to use those as example to help educate you guys. We're going to use Owen's car and of course the DNC Lotus Evora to help educate you guys on the laws of road safety and modified cars, and that is the way it's going to stay. Now, I appreciate the snitch comments, I get it. I understand if you judge a book by its cover, that might be what you think, but just watch a couple more videos and you'll soon understand that that's not what we're about. You have to actually snitch on someone to be a snitch, just so you know. And I would never do that, so we're all good. Anyway, guys, going forward, we've got tons of content to come. I'm really, really excited to get moving with the videos that we've got planned. And I'm really, really appreciative to any one of you for watching this video. I appreciate it's been a bit of a rant, but I needed to get this message across as it's been on my mind for a very long time. Thank you very much for all the support ongoing. As always, smash a like on this video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new, and I really can't wait to show you what we've got coming soon. Peace out, guys. I love you all, as always, but that's been me. Or at least that's been GCM. I'm tired. It's 20 to 1 in the morning. Peace out.